go live.
Adding emotion to it now.
We did it. We're on time again? 2 weeks in a row?
We're getting really good at this. I don't want to jinx anything, but
On time 2 weeks in a row. The Lego cam seems to be working. I don't want to jinx
it's
it.
working.
I don't want to knock on wood either because that'll make Hilo bark.
Can't do anything.
What's up, everybody?
We are going back to Jabba's sail barge, which we got 6 bags into it, and then Christmas happened and you got me the onyx cinder.
This is all we got so far.
Yeah. Well, look, we're adding brown to it now, so it's going to start looking like the... Be so careful.
What?
Just picking it all up with one hand.
It's just like a big giant plank.
Nikto says, stop that. Stop.
I always wonder, like, why does this look so complicated when it doesn't need to be?
Well, this comes with so many minifigs that they're giving you like a lot of space to move them around.
I see. I don't know how Lego decides how these things get built. If it's a program, or if it's a person, or if it's like a mixture of both.
I don't know anymore. I mean, I know people are credited as the designers, but I think they probably use programs to design it.
What's up to our channel members? Chio Flores, Andy Fang, John DeLong, Scotty Heron. JMB wants you to know that the meme pick from the from the podcast this week was in fact Geonosis.
I wasn't sure, but that gave me such a good laugh.
You were so tickled by
Yeah,
that.
it was funny.
I thought I was just being helpful.
I didn't understand the meme. I understood the Star Wars part of it.
He brought a bone in here.
He's like, we hanging out? It's cool.
The
Let me
meme,
get my noisiest chew toy.
the meme was just kind of like, she sent me her location. What is this?
That's you just telling me exactly what it said.
But what don't you get? I mean, sending someone a location is like a thing that phones can do.
Right? Like, does it send you a picture of the location?
I don't think so. It's like he looked up the address and it was the Battle of Geonosis.
Oh. Okay.
TF is this?
Okay. I don't know. There's a lot of layers to it that I just don't understand. Because, like, Anakin's there with her. Padme, I guess it could have been any Jedi or, like, Luminara.
Yeah, no, it's not.
In my mind, it was Padme sending her location, but I'm like, Anakin knows where she is. He's right there.
Maybe it was her when she fell out of the plane.
Yeah.
Her life alert went off.
That makes sense. Oh, he will.
Classic Alex, just overthinking a simple meme.
You're
correct.
Get it.
Well, that's also something that, like, I feel like when that happens when people are dating, when we were dating, before we got married, sending someone your location was not really a thing.
Right. That's also true.
Oops.
Did you do that to Nikto? I told you to be careful.
Oops.
And you were not careful, and now Nikto's dead.
He's not dead. Lego characters don't die. They just burst into a million pieces.
And then respawn. That's true. Yeah, like, we didn't have anything. Like, we barely had texting when we started dating.
Yeah, when we started dating,
we had to pay per text, right?
Both of our phones had buttons on them.
Ew, it has buttons.
I kind of do miss a phone that had like a full keyboard on it.
A full keyboard was fine, but like
not
when we had the numbers and you had to be like A, B, C, like the way you had to tap every letter 3 times to get what you wanted, or
it became muscle memory at a certain point.
Oh, we got good at it, but
yeah.
I don't miss that.
Sean Room says, don't mean to barge in, but I hope everyone is having a lovely week.
I just saw that Sean is looking at a Tokyo guidebook for all the best like places to eat
Join the club.
and drink, and so I was like, if you find anything cool, let me know.
We're starting to get a pretty solid little list going of things that we want to do and check out. I feel like I'm gonna buy a bunch of stuff, and I'm trying to like.
I'm mentally
suppress
preparing
that.
myself for that.
All right, let's get into some super chats. Jane has the first one. Trivia question. How
I was
many
just thinking about trivia earlier today. Just like
just
the
general
the general idea of it, yeah. I was more thinking about how I'm like, man, I'm garbage at it now.
do you miss it?
I don't miss the Schmodown. I still like doing it once a year at Dragon Con.
Yeah.
The Schmodown was too much, but
You say you're garbage at it, but like I don't know. There's a lot of information in that head of yours.
I know, but like the compared to how I was, I can like just feel my brain not making the connections it used to, especially as quick, or I'll just like jump to the wrong title, thinking like I have the right answer. Like last week when someone mentioned Splinter of the Mind's Eye, and I was like, "Oh yeah, the Crystal Star." Like,
It's getting to be too much in there because
uh-huh.
even I knew what book they were talking about. Sean says Peepaw's synapses are not as strong as they used to be. Okay, trivia question. How many of the on-screen Order 66 Jedi deaths can you name?
Oh, just in all of Star Wars or in Revenge of the Sith?
Well, let's just see how many we can name total. We'll say Kiari
Oh,
Mundi
the
is
deaths.
first on my
Deaths. Okay,
list.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Get him out of there.
I mean, he's first in the montage too.
Plo Koon.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, is it Staff Ali?
Mm-hmm.
Ayla Secura.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I
do
think
the
that's it in Revenge of the Sith.
do the Jedi that get killed by Palpatine count?
No,
Oh, okay.
that's not Order 60. It's like clones specifically.
Okay, so Jane says there's 12 named members on screen, no comics or books.
No comics are okay on screen, but not just the movies. So we got four. Depa Balaba is in the Bad Batch. Um,
Jaro Tapal.
yeah,
Does that count for on
I
screen?
would count
That's
it.
on my computer screen.
Now I'm like, okay, the woman who dies at the beginning of Obi-Wan Kenobi, I don't know her name, but she dies protecting the kids.
Who?
She's like a teacher. At the very beginning of Obi-Wan Kenobi, there's a teacher with kids
Oh yeah.
and they're training, and then Order 66 happens and she defends them as long as she can. I don't know her name.
Do we see more of like Reva's flashback
Uh
that are named?
I don't think so.
Ooh, okay. Some of these names I do not recognize. Oh, Shakti.
Does she count?
Which one is the right one? We'll never know.
I mean, the one where she's stabbed in the back by Anakin is the right one, but that's in a deleted scene, also in a vision of the future. I don't know if I would count Shakti.
Oh, we forgot a big one.
I'm sure we did.
We've met this person at celebration. I don't remember which one. Had to have been Chicago, I think.
Like, went in line to meet them?
No, they were at a bar.
Oh.
his girlfriend was teasing him about having a
Oh yeah,
action figure.
Zet Jukasa.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Jet Lucas. He was really nice.
Yeah.
Okay, the others are
I'll see if I can remember
so
what
we got
what they
Deppa,
died in.
we got Deppa,
Uh-huh.
Plo Koon, Kiari Mundi, Shakti, Ayla Secura, Stas Ali, Zet Jukasa, Jaro Tapal. We've got Minas Velti.
Maybe that's the Obi-Wan lady.
Sindralig. That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if we see him die in the hologram. We see him fighting Anakin, so I mean,
Oh yeah,
obviously he does die, but
I think in that one, we see him killing them. What is this one? Why we Malaria? Malareu? WHIE.
I don't know.
MALREA.
I don't know her.
I don't know her. Ben? Bean?
Bean
BENE?
or Benny?
Benny and the Jets?
I don't know them either.
Some of these are. I might recognize them if I saw pictures of them, but I didn't know a lot of these names. Technically on screen in Clone Wars Season 3.
Oh, another. See, visions of the future.
Mhm.
I don't know. Always in motion, the future is.
All right, well, now we know. Make sure to remember that one.
Benny?
All of them. Because it'll come back. Oh, don't forget the Jedi who dies in Grogu's memory vision.
I thought about that
Getting
too.
him
Like
to
there are a
Calorie
couple of, but I don't think we have names for them.
Benny and we are Padawans.
Sad.
Sad. Wah wah. I did check they weren't named in the subtitles. Right. That's a good trivia question though. I remember having to study like specifically just the Order 66 scene in Revenge of the Sith and see, okay, what order do they die in?
Yeah.
What are the planets? What are the battalions that are there? Just, silly stuff like that.
Who killed Ayla Secura? Stuff no one ever wants to know.
Lightspeed Bear, thank you for the next super chat. I know Oscar Isaac being at Celebration is probably for the Force Awakens anniversary panel, but how awesome would a Poe/Starfighter pilot Disney Plus show announcement be? We can dream, Alex.
We can. Yeah, that would be great.
They were gonna have a Star Pilot show with Patty Jenkins
Well, that was a movie.
movie. But I still think it would be cool if
I think it would make a great show.
way down the line we come back to the Skeleton Crew kids and they are like our Top Gun pilots or something.
Wim is definitely going to be a pilot. That is my full-on headcanon. Yeah, I agree. I'm not trying to read too much into it. But yeah, Molly texted me that last night while I was at D&D, just saying, interesting.
At the time, I didn't even think about the Force Awakens anniversary panel, but then I realized that this morning. And I was like, yeah, that's probably it. But wouldn't it be nice if Poe and Finn were going to be
Even if they
in
were
the Rey
like,
movie?
we're going to talk about the new Jedi Order movie, and we're going to confirm that Poe and Finn are going to be in it. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Andrew711 says, do you think we'll get a story telling us what happened to Hu Yang during the Empire?
Eventually. He'd be a great, like...
He was waitressing just to get himself by.
just hiding.
Yeah.
Uh, I feel like he'd be a good, from a certain point of view, characters whenever they do the prequels, just to
Ooh, yeah.
like. Obviously, he'd be around for episodes 1 and 2, but then yeah, show what he got up to during Order 66 and how he survived, who he saved, if anyone.
Yeah, I mean, as a droid, I feel like he'd be pretty safe, but
I
because
don't
of his
know. I mean, he has those boxing arms that can come out, so
but because of his occupation and like what he does, I wonder if they came after him at all or like tried to reprogram him.
yeah,
And he was like,
throwing hands.
"Nah, not today." Didn't he have his
I
own
could see
ship?
them. It got destroyed in the Clone Wars.
Oh.
I could see them maybe wanting to not destroy him because he could have valuable information.
Well, also, I mean, Inquisitors and Sith need lightsabers too. They could have had held him prisoner and made him like work for them.
I like the idea that he just like helped them make terrible lightsabers.
Maybe he invented the lightsaber helicopter.
Yeah, now he's like,
He's
no one
like,
will take you seriously now.
you know what? I'm pretty proud of this. I gotta say, not proud of working with the Inquisitors, but like,
No, I like the
I still
idea that
need a
he made
job.
it so that everyone would laugh at the Inquisitors.
Maybe. Or yeah, like as he was introducing the new kind of saber to them, he's like, "This is basically a lightsaber with training wheels. So here you go."
Uh huh.
Uh, Elo Asti asks, "Who would win in a fist fight, Alex Damon or Oscar Isaac?"
Oscar Isaac. Are you kidding me? Moon Knight?
Have you ever been in a fist fight?
I punched one of my friends in the ear once.
Not to like harm him,
I mean, a little.
but okay, well, were you aiming for his ear?
No, it was Ashton. Like I've told this story before. Our friend who's done explain it to me. So he's still my friend, first of all, and he had it coming. We were
He
college,
had it coming.
yeah, we were college roommates, and we'd just gotten Super Mario Galaxy. I had just gotten it, I should say, and he was being so annoying. Like if you were the second player, you could shoot the star bits out. And if you collect the star bits, they give you health, and you can also shoot them at Mario and mess up the person playing. So he kept shooting all my bits at me, and I had had enough, and I was like, if you don't put the controller down in 60 seconds, I'm going to punch you in the face. and then he
You
waited
settled for the ear.
he waited 60 seconds and then picked it up and shot all my star bits. And he was sitting next to me, and I went like that, and I like went to go, and then I was like, I don't, it's not actually worth it. So I tried to like pull back, and instead I just went like bap and
Oh
kind of like
no.
swiped his ear. Uh, so he loves to tell that story.
Did you hurt your hand?
No, I didn't hit him that hard. I mean, it was in the ear, so it hurt him, but he was also laughing hysterically because he achieved his goal and got a rise out of me.
MC Lego Boy says, "Nerd punch."
Yeah, accurate.
At least you managed to keep a closed fist. You could have at the last second just like slapped him,
Yeah.
which it sounded like would have been totally fine. No, I wouldn't want to be in a fist fight with Oscar Isaac or any celebrity that's ever done fight scenes. Some of that stuff sticks.
No, if I had to fight Moon Knight, pass.
Ooh, iHaja says Nerd Punch should be your cocktail, Alex.
I like that.
Let's make a cocktail Nerd Punch. Josh Mansfield, thanks for the next super chat. Glad I can finally catch a build again. Been sick since Saturday. Hope you guys are well. Me versus Alice. Alice? Who's Alice? Me versus Alex for OG Battlefront 2 on stream when, lol. I'm sorry you've
I've
been sick since Saturday. That sucks.
played the OG Battlefront 2 in forever. I got the did I get the new version? I forget.
We haven't touched that game in a long time.
But I think I got the the updated thing that they relaunched, but then it got such bad reviews that I didn't even launch it, and I was like, no. Maybe I returned it on Steam. I don't remember. I wonder if they fixed that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to ask. I was gonna say we'd have to ask our friend Elliot, but he's too busy making Lord of the Rings content now. Which is great. Let's see. Scotty Heron, thank you. Who wins in a fight? A lot of fighting questions.
What is
tonight?
Everyone's feeling violent today.
I mean, anyone in America might be feeling a little
Yeah.
like throwing hands, and I don't blame you. Who wins in a fight? One bantha-sized porg or 30 porg-sized banthas? Also, any chance of a future live stream playthrough of Outlaws?
Maybe. I'll start with the Outlaws first. I did just recently play the Wildcard DLC, and I enjoyed it. I don't know. For some reason, that one's not like crying out to me for a live stream the way that Fallen Order does.
Maybe like I don't know, since we don't really know what's coming after Andor.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do some kind of game stream.
There's that, there's still plenty of the game that I want to do, so yeah, giving myself an excuse to just go and continue exploring. I could do that on stream.
I want to play the Lego games some more.
Those are a fun and goofy time. I think the Porg wins the fight though. Easily.
The bantha-sized porg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Banthas aren't really, they're lovers, not fighters.
Right. What would they do? Even if they're big, I kind of feel like 30 porgs might take the bantha.
They have big mouths, but their teeth are very blunt. And porgs have beaks, sort of. Do they?
And a group of them is called a murder.
Do we have any porgs in here? They have a beak, right? Or no,
Not
they have
really.
they have little
mouths.
But they look mean. They look like they could be mean.
I agree.
Oh, but they do have sharp teeth, I think. I don't remember.
They do eat fish, so they're carnivores. But banthas can eat meat too, but they don't seem like hunters.
Yeah, I agree. Any bird that big is going to be scary.
Also true. That's basically a dinosaur.
Right. I saw some chat questions that I wanted to answer. Oh, Jane did say the re-release is totally fixed now. I'm almost done platinuming it.
Maybe I'll give it a go then.
Rob You Blind asked, what do you think happened to the... Oh gosh, I can't remember how to say this. Antikythera after the events of Dial of Destiny.
I also can't remember
Is that
how to say that.
Fancy clock?
It's the Dial of Destiny, isn't it?
Yeah, Indiana Jones and the Fancy Clock. I saw that movie.
I mean, isn't the implication that it's a cycle that happens over and over again? Indy takes it back in time.
Antikythera.
I remember doing videos about this before the movie came out, and I did learn how to say it, but now I can't remember.
Antikythera? People are trying to spell it out phonetically in the chat.
Antikythera? Antikythera? I don't remember.
Antikythera.
But like he takes it back in time and shows Aristotle, whoever, the old person, the person who supposedly
The
invented
old
it.
famous person.
Yes.
Not famous yet. Soon to be famous.
He will be famous.
Not soon, but
uh
Archimedes.
so like Indy takes it back in time and then that inspires its creation and then it is made in the future and then Indy takes it back in time and like it's a closed loop.
So does that mean it's not going to get used anymore?
I don't think so. I can't remember what happens to it. We've only seen the movie once. I need to see it again.
Yeah, time travel loops make me very confused. Like, it's hard to wrap my brain around stuff like that.
So yeah, I can't remember if like Indy and Helena take it back.
It ends up
But
in a crate in a big warehouse somewhere, just like everything else from indie movies.
yeah, I can't even remember how that kid Teddy was his name Teddy. That kid has a plane, so then Helena and Indy are able to get in that and go like back through the time hole.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Let's do the
the
time
time
hole
hole again.
Yeah,
I do want to watch that again.
we should rewatch that one. I enjoyed it. I did still. I'm never not going to roll my eyes at the de-aging stuff. I don't know. It's just not my thing. But it did look okay.
I'm glad it was just the beginning of the movie. Well, it wasn't. That's not true.
Apparently, someone in an interview asked Harrison Ford, "Did you see that like Dial of Destiny didn't do well or something like that in the box office?" And he said, "Shit happens." He said, "I don't care.
Yeah.
Not my problem.
He,
I got
he got
paid.
paid, yeah.
Now I'm doing something fun on Apple TV and it doesn't matter." Let's see. Literal Table 756 asks if Tom Kane's voice acting career had not suddenly come to a tragic end, do you think he would have played Colonel Yularen in live action in Andor Episode 7?
I don't know. I think I've seen a picture of him. I mean, I'd have to see what he looks like with a mustache, really.
That is the selling point, really, for Yularen. You gotta have white hair and a mustache.
Which I do think he had white hair. Has. I've never seen a picture of him with a mustache. I don't know. Like, to Tony Gilroy, I think he would be interested in casting an actor that had enough presence. And Tom Kane, as far as I know, is more of a voice actor. I don't know that he's been on screen as much, so I want to say I doubt it. Also, like his voice in the Clone Wars, the very like over the top. I mean, this is more when he's narrating the intro, like war across the galaxy. He wouldn't be doing that, but I feel like Tony Gilroy would be like, do less.
Dial it back a little bit. Well, sometimes when you're just doing voice acting work, you really got to play it up
Exactly,
because
yeah.
that's all you got. But I don't know. I mean, they could have given him a shot, let him, you know, audition for it and seen if he was a good fit. He could have also not wanted to do anything live action. It might have been up to him.
I don't really know his career outside of voice acting.
Oh, that's a fun question. A little behind the scenes question from Gregular. They're asking they're saying really liking the new Last Week in Star Wars show format. What's the production workflow like? How long does it take to prep, shoot, edit, and post an episode?
Prep's not that bad.
Prep is really, we're just kind of collecting all the news and like canon information from the week.
Sorry, I just like have a random piece here that's not supposed to be there, and now I'm like, where's that meant to go? uh,
Should we put that in the frame of the Lego cam? This piece?
I tried to do that last week, and you moved it over to here. So you make up your mind where it goes.
We weren't building this big ol' thing last week.
But yeah, like prep is just throughout if a news story happens, we just write down like, yeah, we'll cover this. Uh, while we're reading the comics anyway, it's like I'll just write up a quick summary to bring back up. We pick questions just like we normally would. So prep is pretty simple. Shooting, we're trying to get this down, but it's taken us like an hour 15, hour and a half to shoot each episode.
Yeah, depending on how much there is to cover.
Last week was long because we had 6 comics.
Yeah. But we shoot the episodes on Thursdays, which is partially kind of why we moved our Lego streams to Wednesdays, because we were doing the Lego streams on Thursday night. We were like shooting the weekly show stuff and then going straight into a live stream, so we had to change our entire room setup, move the lights, move the cameras, move the table, and it was just getting to be too hectic all in the same day. So it's been a little better being able to break it up.
I guess editing is the longest part.
Editing takes me a long time because I'm not great at it. I mean, I'm good at it, but it just, I'm not used to editing like he is.
Molly's finally using hotkeys. I've been trying to get her to use hotkeys for...
I got a new mouse, and the mouse has like programmable... I mean, all mice have programmable keys, but this one's like a little fancier, and I was able to program some of the mouse buttons to like specific editing actions, and I'm using hotkeys more. But because we have 3 cameras that we're working on, it just takes a little longer for me to go through and pick out the footage. Like, we could let it... Isn't there like an automatic thing to put it through when you have multicam?
It's not automatic. You still have to tell it which camera to go to, but you do that by just hitting 1, 2, or 3, which is kind of nice. So you basically would just watch it and be like, wide shot 1, Alex shot 2, Molly shot 3, and it would switch kind of live, and then you can go and touch up the cuts after the fact. So it's not automatic.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if that would save me a whole lot of time. I'm just like really picky when it comes to editing. So anyways, takes me like most of the day Friday to edit, and then it gets posted. We schedule it either Friday night or Saturday morning, and then it goes out Saturday at noon. And then we start it all over again the next week.
We really, I mean, like, yeah, prep time is, I would say, minimal between Monday and Thursday. I do most of the prep Thursday morning as far as like picking questions and stuff.
Yeah, the prep time is all kind of stuff that we do normally anyways. So that is not too hard. Samuel Rogers asks what we edit in. I edit in Premiere. You will edit sometimes between Premiere and After Effects.
It's been mostly Premiere lately. It depends on what I'm editing, but I haven't been putting as many like motion graphics and things as of late, so I've been using After Effects less.
I've been playing around in Photoshop, and it's very intimidating and scary, but been forcing myself to learn how to do some stuff, and it's been kind of fun. I've been putting out the little like news update images, which I've gotten good feedback on. It seems like people like to share those, which is always nice. Okay, let's see. Lindsay Brown, thank you for the super chat, and just says Japan's spending money.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Thank you, Lindsay.
If anyone's been to Japan and has recommendations, hit us up. Let us know in the chat, because
yeah, we're always down for any recommendations.
We did, very excited. At the beginning of February, we got the results in for I entered the lottery for the Nintendo Museum.
Oh yeah.
And we got into the Nintendo Museum, so I'm very psyched about that. And I'm sure you're equally as excited.
I like Nintendo stuff.
I know.
I don't want to get punched in the ear if I play Mario Galaxy with you.
If you play Mario wrong, I would never.
Last time we played Mario Party,
Mm-hmm.
I won, which was very exciting.
You have a great time when you're winning Mario Party, and if you're not,
I was fine the last...
You're the one that's going to punch me in the ear.
No. The last like 2 or 3 times we played, I was fine. I don't do that anymore. You
got to a point where you were just like, I'm done. I don't want to play this anymore.
I got other stuff to worry about that are bigger problems now.
But yes, you did win the last game. And it was fun watching you win.
Ryan hated it. Let's see. I don't know why the browser is like going really slow all of a sudden. Alex the Hiker has the next super chat. Love you guys and your work. Been a big Star Wars fan since the 70s and really appreciate the fun and intellectual life you bring to the franchise. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
That is a great compliment. If we can bring fun and intellectuality, that's not a word.
You're doing great.
Intellectual.
If we can bring fun and smarts.
Yeah, if we can bring fun and smarts to Star Wars, then we're doing our job right.
That's kind of part of the reason I was thinking about trivia earlier today. I was thinking of doing a video at some point of just like, how have I changed as a Star Wars fan over the past 10 years?
Ooh, that would be good, actually. Because it's been a journey.
Mm-hmm. And just like, when I started the channel, I was doing it to win a trivia competition and help myself study. And I still like trivia. I still want to compete in that competition. I would like to win it again. But it's like, yeah, that has become less of my focus and not what I find as fun about the franchise. Just hit refresh. the browser just like shut down and just Molly.
What happened?
What?
I thought our internet went out and I was very worried. Yeah, no, I think doing a introspective or retrospective on how we've changed as fans would be a good video. You know who I want to see talk about that? Ken and Joseph. And Jen. That should be the one that we have on with them. Like, we just did a Skeleton Crew video with them recapping the first season. That could be a fun one.
Well, I mean, I feel like a lot of the changes that I've gone through are because it's their fault.
Yeah. Oh, Versa Lopez says, by the way, Patreon 2025 has been awesome. Thank you.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah. If there's anyone in the chat that has like done the watch-alongs, or what's the other new stuff that we have put out so far?
Is the Silo episode out? we're about to put out our first. Really, it's our second, but it was like years and years ago that we did Beyond the Stars. But we're going
Hmm.
to talk about Silo. I can't remember if that's out now or if it's about to come out, but yeah, like we're doing little bonus podcasts about non-Star Wars stuff and still have our comic reactions and all that and episode reactions when Andor's coming back.
Yeah. We still got to do our office tour filming. Austin in the chat just asked, when is that shelf tour video coming on Patreon? I'm pretty much. I've got a couple more things that I want to do in my office that won't take long. And then we might have some fun.
That's Molly's
Like,
been moving a lot of stuff around for production and for the tour.
we have some fun, like, sneak peeks at stuff that will be coming in the future as far as behind the scenes and filming goes. So we could probably add that
Yeah.
to the Patreon office tour video. But yeah, I've got a couple more things that I want to do in my office, and then I just need to like clean it up a little, and I'm ready to go for that. The hardest thing is like I have all my Funko Pops out of the box.
Molly's been dusting them like a little bit at a time.
I got these like cans of compressed air to dust the Funko
By the
Pops,
time you
which
finish, the ones you started with are going to be dusty
you have
again.
to be careful because they're not glued down. If you those things are pretty strong, and I'm not trying to like blow them off the shelf, but I don't want to pick each one up and like wipe it down. So I'm trying to just like go a little bit at a time because those cans like get really cold. I just need to get like one of the battery powered ones. But yeah, I'm trying to dust all my Funko Pops and toys and stuff in there, and it's been a journey because I have not kept up with dusting. Oh, is the Free Guy watch along out?
Yes, that came out Saturday.
Okay. I was excited for that one to come out because the first watch along we did was for a movie that you had to pay for. So I was like, I don't know if people are going to love that. But Jane says the Free Guy watch along was a very pleasant way to stop doom scrolling. Jane also says, any chance you guys are going to do a commentary for the last episode of The Bad Batch? It's the only episode y'all are missing.
Someone made a comment about that, and I made a note of it. And yeah, we just that was in was it May of this past year?
We just never did it?
Nope. Like it ended, and then I remember May 4th being especially chaotic, and then I Acolyte was coming out soon after that, and I think it just fell through the cracks. So yeah, we should just go back and do a. I mean, we wouldn't do a commentary now. We'd probably just do a watch along,
Yeah.
which would be a video watch commentary, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, we should do that. Geo says, "Oh my god, imagine my nightmare of cleaning." I cannot imagine that, Geo. That is a lot of cleaning. I should not complain. Let's see. Bill Rooklyn, thanks for the next super chat. Who wins? Another fight. K2SO and Smee, SM33.
All right. I mean,
Versus. Versus.
I'm just saying that first team up sounds OP.
R2D2 and Chopper. Chopper is a known murderer.
This is when it depends on the location. Because if it's just in a blank void, it's just two massive enforcer droids versus two astromechs, I think the enforcer droids are going to win. There's always a chance that they could team up. I mean, R2 has that, like, the grease spill and then use the rockets to set them on fire. These aren't like your standard battle droids that they're facing. This SM33 has been through enough stuff.
Like, Chopper fights dirty. We all know that.
Uh-huh.
And then for me, I kind of think it depends on what time period we're talking for R2.
Yeah, what does is
Because
this
is this like the
sure?
is this the time period where he's willing to take out other droids for his mission?
He does seem to have softened by the time of the original trilogy,
In his old age.
at that point he has fewer gadgets.
Yeah.
So yeah, prequel era R2 is more ruthless and has more tools.
But like you said, K2 and SM-33 are droids that are kind of meant for protection and fighting and enforcing.
Let's just assume they're
They have
everyone's
arms and legs.
yeah.
That really helps.
Let's assume they're all at their height. I mean, Chopper and R2 can both fly. So there is
I
that.
mean, not super well though. Like they don't take off like a rocket. They're just kind of
Chopper
like.
kind of does. Chopper literally has a little rocket booster in his butt.
I feel like SM-33 could grab one of them before they were able to fly
See, that's
away.
why it depends on what the location is. We need more details. I feel like this fight could go either way.
I agree with Lobo in the chat. It would be better if it was K2 and R2 and then SM-33 and Chopper.
Yeah,
Like if you broke them up.
I mean it's still gonna feel like an even fight. So if it's SM and Chopper, I think I give it to them.
Hmm.
33, he's old and he's a pirate. He has seen God knows what. Like he knows how to fight.
Yeah. But he could
Like
also short out at any moment.
and also does Snowball get to
Is Snowball there?
does Snowball enter into the equation?
Uh, all good questions.
I think I if it was SM-33 and Chopper versus R2 and K2, I think I give it to the scrappier, more beat up team. I think that they're going to be more ruthless. But honestly, if it was the two enforcers versus the two astromechs, I still think it depends on like where they're fighting. I don't want to just automatically give it to the enforcers. That was my gut.
Mm-hmm.
But Chopper and R2 can fly. Let's assume R2 has all his best gadgets and Chopper's ruthlessness. They're both creative.
Big Pin says power scaling R2D2 is crazy. I agree, but I feel like this warrants a video. Can we do like a tier list of R2's most powerful moments?
His best gadgets.
His best gadgets. Yeah, that could be fun. MC Lego Boy says everyone has an off switch.
That's true. SM-33 was easily just shut down.
You gotta know where it is, I guess,
Right.
but yeah, we can kind of assume. So, if I had to pick K2SO and SM-33 versus R2 and Chopper, I might have to go with K2 and SM-33. They have
That was
arms
what my
and
gut
legs.
said, but
They can run. I mean, yes, R2 and Chopper can fly, but
that's why I'm like, if it's in a blank void and they have just no environment to use or anything like that, I want to give it to the enforcer droids. But if they're on a ship, Chopper's gonna find a way to airlock them.
yeah.
Like Chopper will find a way.
Honestly, yeah, this is a pretty even match,
It's tough.
in my opinion. And it all depends on where they are, what time period, whether or not Snowball is there.
And who knows, like I keep saying, let's put R2D2 at his height with his most powers and gadgets. What if SM-33 had even more back in the day when he had his whole other leg?
Yeah, Bolt says R2 has way better plot armor. Let's put the plot armor aside. Because yes, that does count. And yes, Chopper is brutal. I don't know. That is a good question.
Maybe we'll find out in Andor season 2 when this exact
Did you
fight
see
happens.
that there are some like new t-shirt designs out for Andor?
I think so.
And one of them has B2 emo on it.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was like a wanted. It was B2 and K2, right? And it
Yeah.
said wanted.
That's like the first we've seen of little B2 in any of the Andor season 2 stuff.
I'm worried for him.
I'm worried. Hmm. All right, moving on. Paul Saley, thank you for the super chat. Molly, have you seen Dexter Original Sin? Sarah Michelle Gellar is in it and she's phenomenal. May the force be with you. I was just talking about this with our friend Alden Diaz, because we were talking about the new Buffy show rumors, and we have not seen Dexter Original Sin. I don't know if it's gonna be good, and I'm nervous to give it a shot, but I'm kind of like 50-50 on trying it out.
Dexter keeps burning us, I
Yeah.
feel like, but to its credit, part of me is like, okay, like I'm interested. I really liked most of the reboot season that they did. I felt like it I think that was at least a better conclusion than however season 7 or 8 or whatever. The series ended like just so ugh. And really it was just dragging around in my opinion ever since season 4. Season
Yeah.
5 was okay, and then it's just like we were just going through the motions.
Yeah.
And I barely remember season 8.
You really cannot beat the first 4 seasons. Like, I don't think anything can touch that.
And even those, like, they're not perfect. They were just fun to watch.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it just wasn't really.
What was it? The newest season? Or was it a movie?
With Clancy Brown?
Yeah.
That was a season, yeah.
That one was okay.
I liked it
Clancy
until
Brown
the very end. Clancy Brown was great.
He was terrifying in that. And, like, the reveal for his character was nuts. So that was really fun. But I still felt like Dexter was just kind of like, they were just milking him dry
and
as a
there's
character.
Gonna be another, like...
And I hated his son.
Harrison.
His little turd son.
And they're gonna do Dexter Resurrection, which I'm like, what does that mean? Is he not dead after all? Like, somehow Dexter returned? What's going on?
And I think it was Sarah Michelle Gellar that said, like, she had never really considered doing more Buffy stuff until realizing that, like, Dexter could come back in a way. And what was that other show she did? Teen Wolf?
She was on that?
I think so. She was just talking about, like, these new revival shows actually becoming a thing and being okay / good. So also I feel like they probably just offered her a buttload of money. She's like, you know what? It's sounding a little better now. And you know who is not gonna be a part of it, so should be good.
I'm excited for that too.
Oh my god, a new Buffy show? I mean, I'm nervous, but I think my excitement overcomes the nervous feeling.
Is there anything in you that's like, could they ruin what came before for you? Like,
no.
Then yeah.
But
then go for it.
Here's my thing. They had talked about doing a Buffy kind of like not spin-off, but like, what do they call it when it's not
just a reboot?
Not a full reboot.
Relaunch?
I don't know. I don't think
continuation. I don't know.
Continuation, maybe. I don't think they were gonna rewrite what had already happened. Reimagining, maybe soft reboot, something like that. They had talked about doing that, and it was gonna be like a black girl as the main Slayer character, and I was super into that.
It would have been like, I thought that was going to be a continuation of the Buffy universe, where she is just another Slayer after what happens in season 7.
Okay, yeah, then that's what I'm thinking of.
So yeah, I don't know what to call that. I guess a
Continuation,
yeah,
spin-off.
because it would have been the same story, but
That, I was like, I'm interested in that. I would like to see a new main character, a new reimagining of what being a Slayer looks like now. But I guess that fell through. Whatever. The idea of it coming back and having Buffy be back as the main character is interesting. I just like it blows my mind. I'm like, what are they gonna do? They can't do much from the comics because that stuff got really weird.
I bet they will ignore the comics.
Probably. Which is I
And
think
now
is
we're gonna
fine.
have Buffy Legends, and
There was that one comic where
prequel. That's it.
Dawn was like having a Alice in Wonderland moment where she was like a giant. They wouldn't be able to do that. Also, a lot of lesbian stuff in the comics, which I didn't mind. Sidequill? Requel?
I think requel. I like that.
Samuel Rogers says Buffy could be a mentor type character in the reboot rather than the primary protagonist. Yeah. I mean, I'd like to see that too. I need to know more
Yeah,
of like who's returning, like
it'll
what's the
hopefully Alex and
story.
Hannigan does.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what they do because like part of the whole thing, the finale is so great because she gets to not be the only Slayer. So I'm like, well, I hope she gets some semblance of a normal life. That's what she's always wanted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I am excited and maybe I'll check out Dexter Original Sin.
That's something that I bet we'll try at some point.
Mm-hmm. Austin says, speaking of lesbians, how great was it to get Charles Soule writing Afra?
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
That was such a fun story. I wish I had ended up making a short from our talk about Momin because that Momin story was hilarious.
He's not supposed to be funny.
He's allowed to be funny. He's been around for
I
so
agree.
long.
I liked it.
And I feel like sometimes he gets brought back and he's like, wait a second, I'm at a party? I'm gonna throw down. Charlie McKay asks, if you were starting to read the Star Wars comics, which main run would you begin with?
So if you're just talking about literally the ones titled Star Wars, I guess just pick between if you're more interested in what happens right after episode 4, read the 2015. And if you're more interested in oh, I did that backwards. If you're more interested in what happens after episode 5, read the 2021. I think that the Charles Soule run is more consistent. Um it's 50 issues, so it's shorter as well. By the end of the 2015 run, I was like, I'm ready for this to be like rebooted.
Mm.
Um, the stuff in the Charles Soule run still some like the Dark Droid stuff especially. I was like, this is weird. This is weirder than I like my Star Wars. But hey, they took a swing. But they got to do bigger stuff like the War of the Bounty Hunters and Crimson Reign, all the Kira trilogy. That felt like, oh wow, the comics are doing something significant. Where the 2015 run, it was one of the first Star Wars comics reintroduced when Marvel took back over, and it just isn't as. It was exciting in the first few issues because it was novel again, and then it just kind of was there for me. So I guess I would say the 2020 run.
I didn't read most of those, so I don't know. I'm reading
But if you
them.
want, if you're just getting into Star Wars comics in general, read Charles Soule's Darth Vader comic. That's the best one.
Period.
Yep.
Yeah. I have really been enjoying having a reason to keep up with the comics weekly to talk about them on the podcast. And the Kylo Ren comic is off to a great start today.
Yes, after mentioning the Charles Soule Darth Vader run, I'm really excited for his Kylo Ren run.
Paul Christian asks, have we ever played a Star Wars TRRPG? TRRPG?
We have
TTRPG?
tabletop role-playing game.
This is TRRPG.
Oh.
Did I...
Table rap.
Table rap.
I'm going to assume that means tabletop.
Yeah. If so, who was your character? If not, what species/archetype would you play?
Oh, man. What was our character? So we...
Oh, yeah, we did play like a one-off. Just for one day, we gave it a shot.
Our friend had written like a little campaign. I don't think we got very far into it at all.
But we're planning on doing that in the future.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that in a second, but I was trying to remember because our characters were somewhat related, I think. One of us thought they were I think I was force sensitive.
Yeah.
And there was like a slight chance that I could use the force and it would happen, and
I was like a Jedi groupie.
Yeah, you thought that I was kind of like Haja without realizing it, and even without his like charisma.
I would get like anime hard eyes if anyone brought up Jedi or the Force.
Yeah.
I was like
So you were like following me around, and I was like trying my best to use the Force. I do remember I rolled very well and used the Force at one point, and our GM was like, "Oh God, I wasn't expecting this. What do I do?" But
okay, they did mean TTRPG.
But yeah, that's something that I have wanted to do for a long time, and I'm trying to finally like plan something out. And I've never GM'd before, so I want to get a practice session or two under my belt, but want to get some friends together and record a live play and do it'd probably be kind of edited down.
Yeah, it wouldn't be live. We'd record it ahead of time.
I find it difficult for me to watch like the big 3-hour long playthroughs of someone playing D&D. So we would probably put that out somewhere, but I would want the final product to be like a quick, punchy,
yeah,
here's the story, and we'll include rolls and stuff if they're funny, but I would want to like move through the story a little faster.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something we are working on doing.
I can't remember species archetype.
I don't remember what species I was either.
I wouldn't mind.
Oh, no, I do. I was a Caloran because I was flipping through the book, and that's a character from, or a species from the Kanan comic, and I was like, oh, you can be them. So I was a Caloran.
I would be maybe a Thelan. Or
that sounds like you.
A Zygerian. A little kitty cat. Or like a blob man. Like, what's his name?
Orbelin?
Orbelin.
That'd be fun.
That would be crazy.
That's I was thinking about that. That in our game, I think at least for our first one, it's going to be more rules light. The system I want to use is not going to be all that technical. So I'm like, but I need to account for if someone is a blob person, like they do have abilities. So I need to find ways to account for that, where it's like, we're not all just humans.
And we don't even really know the full abilities and potential of Orbelin, because he's the only one of his species we've ever seen.
He's basically like a...
And we've seen him out of the suit once.
He's been out of the suit the whole time in this comic now.
Oh, okay.
He's just like, I'm done with that. He doesn't want to pretend to be humanoid anymore.
Starting a nudist colony.
Yeah, basically. Everyone's like,
aww,
oh,
love that.
Orbelin.
Orbelin.
Put your pants on.
Clothes on,
and he's
man.
like, no.
I don't have to adhere to your silly human rules. Yeah, Scotty Heron says, sun's out, blobbing out. Letting the blobbing all hang out. Love that for him. Jane, thank you for becoming a member of the 603rd. I thought maybe you were already a member, but maybe it was just a renewal. Either way, welcome to the 603rd. We've been talking about some Japan swag for anyone else who's coming to Japan. We need to figure that out, nail it down, and get it made soon. But we are going to have some kind of swag to give out if you're coming to Celebration Japan.
I definitely want to do. People really liked, and I liked. For London, we did that Biggs logo that is next to our members.
But we
swapped the checker pattern out for the British flag, so we'll probably do that and put the Japanese flag instead.
The Union Jack flag.
Yeah. So we'll do a Japanese flag in the helmet. So we'll have pins of that, and then maybe like we should do like 603rd pins or something, and just have that be like secret swag. So people who know, people who are like in our live chat and know what the 603rd is.
If you come up to us and ask, "Are we live?" That's how you get the secret swag. I have to remember that now. That's a thing. I like that.
Secret swag.
Secret swag. Oh, this is a fun question. Jared Pleakin asks, do you have any board game recommendations? Trying to expand my board game repertoire for game and movie nights. Well, I feel like I specialize more in like party games, but we have friends who are very, very deep into board games and can recommend like tons and tons of stuff.
I feel like
You're in the middle.
I'm Bo-Katan. I walk in both worlds.
Oh, okay. I was like, you have a terrible wig?
It got better.
It got better.
Yeah, like I enjoy parts of complex board games, but you know, if it takes too long to learn the rules, I'm like, I love a good party game, but there are some board games that I really love. Like Quacks of Quedlinburg is.
I was gonna bring that one up.
Yeah.
So I am not super into like really long, drawn out games with a lot of rules. However, Quacks of Quedlinburg sounds like the most nerdy board game you could possibly imagine. But it is really fun and not super hard to learn. And it's kind of like, it's all a game of chance, really. There's a few things you can do to improve your deck, so to speak. But you're basically, I think it plays up to 4 or 5 players. And you're wizards.
Alchemists. Yeah, sure.
You're like alchemists creating a potion. But there's a lot more to it than that. That's basically
it's a push your luck game.
Push your luck game, yeah.
So you're trying to build a potion without it exploding. And it's kind of like blackjack in the sense that you can keep going and you can maybe get more points, but you also might blow your potion up. So you're just pushing your luck. And you're not really playing against you are competing with each other, but there's not a chance to like mess each other up.
Right, yeah, it's kind of co-op, but not really.
I wouldn't call it it's still competitive, but it's a very friendly competitive. Because if I lose, it's only my fault.
Yeah.
Because I pushed my luck harder and harder, and
you can't like screw over anybody, really. Right.
It's not like Survive, which is another game that I love, but will ruin friendships for a day.
So check out Quacks and like look up a very beginner first time playing tutorial. That's another thing, like that is a game where there are different ways to play it and there's expansions. I prefer to just play the very first time I learned how to play those are the cards that I use.
I don't think I've ever played any of the other stuff.
We've
Just
played it once, I think, with Oosh maybe, where we flipped the chips to mean different stuff. But
it has high replayability.
high replayability. Okay, so that's a fun one. Survive, you mentioned, is fun. That one's really easy to learn. For more party games, uh, what is that one that is also an app?
Oh, Wavelength?
Wavelength is really fun.
I like Wavelength.
Mm, we're always playing Hanabi, which is a
Oh
great
yeah.
two-player. You can play more than two, but we play it a lot.
That's
Two
not really
player.
like a good. I think it goes up to 4 people. So it's not like a party, like it's movie night, let's play Hanabi. Also, you don't talk a whole lot in that game.
Sure.
So it wouldn't be like, let's get our energy levels up. But it is very fun. Like, honestly, especially if you're in a committed relationship and you've been with that person for a long time, there's a lot of like unspoken communication that has to happen. And like the better you are at that, the better you are at the game.
Mm-hmm.
We're pretty good at it.
Well, we've also played it a lot.
Yeah, and we figured out like
We have
I know what
tells.
you mean when you say you have 2 red cards, and I'm like, that's right, I do.
Yeah, that one's fun. That one's also portable. Like
Yeah, that's a good brewery game.
Hanabi is a good one to just throw in a bag and take with you somewhere.
And it's a
Coup,
Japanese game, so we'll probably play it in Japan.
that's true. Coup is kind of fun. That one is kind of a bluffing game. Same with Resistance. I would be careful with Resistance if like that one could lead to ending friendships if it gets too heated. Um Secret Hitler is fun.
Same as Resistance, basically.
Same thing, like Secret Identities. I feel like most of these are pretty well known games. What's that gold
Oh yeah,
one?
Ink and Gold. That one's fun.
Ink and Gold.
That's another push your luck game. I like that. I really like push your luck games. That one's also very fun.
MC Lego Voices. I've never heard of any of these. There's I don't know how well known these games are because like I said, our friends are very deep into the board game world. So we will learn about a lot of new games through them and just assume that everybody kind of knows about them.
Hanabi's probably the game we play the most. Quacks is probably the game we play the most with groups of friends, but Ink and Gold, like if I hear people are playing that, I'll push people out of the way to it's really fun.
I really like Mysterium.
Oh yeah, that one's really good.
I'll 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 end it there because we could go on and on, but Mysterium is a fun kind of big group game and it's like kind of like Clue meets
This is interesting. This piece came still like attached. I have to break it off.
oh. What would you say Mysterium is like?
Oh, so
It's
it's a co-op game.
it's Clue meets what? Like
Uh,
you're trying to figure out
you play as a
where
bunch of
Ghost was murdered,
you
who
play a
did
bunch
it.
of psychics, and the ghost is trying to communicate to you where, how, and with what it was murdered. Who?
Yeah.
Is who involved?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, who, with what, and where? Yeah, that's right. But yeah, and the ghost can't speak. It can only communicate through like images. Kind of hard to describe this game, but
I want to see.
oh, but it's really fun.
Oh. MC Lego Boy says, "Oh, these are Harry Potter wands. They come in a pack of 2 and you have to break off the sprue."
Oh, interesting.
They do look like little
That's funny.
wands. Cute. I'm a big fan of co-op games, mostly just because
It's nice to win or lose together.
I was too good a couple of times at Resistance, and no one wants to play that with me, and I don't want to play it anymore because no one trusts me, no matter what I say.
Have you tried not lying?
No, I'll
I'll
never
never
consider
consider
that.
it.
All right, I hope that answers your question. Oh, Jared says all these are new to me. Just got Disney villains and Ticket to Ride. Oh,
Ticket to Ride's fun.
Ticket to Ride is fun. Well, I hope we had some solid recommendations in there. When we do our like yearly cabin trip with all of our friends, we play a lot of board games.
I forget what it was called, but that one Ashton had that was like chess with rocks. I
I
liked that.
did not understand that at
It
all.
took me a second to get it, but
I was on a lot of
that was
cold
fun.
medicine though, and I was drinking alcohol, so I was like, "What game is this?"
You were really good at it. You played like 8 games and just
Nuh-uh.
dominated.
If that were the case, then I'd be doing that same cocktail every time.
It makes me so smart.
All right. Darth Jelly has the next super chat. Are you going to stay a lot of time in Japan? So we're gonna be able to spend some extra time going around to a few different places. We've got Kyoto, we've got Tokyo, obviously, and we are. Where are we going besides that?
Hakone for a day or a night, really. We're swinging by to stay at a ryokan.
And then, other than that, we might try to hit up Osaka,
Yeah,
but
because that's not far from Kyoto.
I think we've got a pretty solid split between Kyoto and Tokyo
Mhm.
before like celebration even starts.
I think in total we're gonna be out there 12 days, maybe 11, and then there's travel days, and one of those days we basically lose a whole day.
Yeah.
But then on the way home, we lose 0 time, which is gonna be wild
Yeah.
because we like take off and land at the exact same time.
Jeannie from Tahini says Osaka's my favorite. Yeah, I would like to maybe take a trip up there, down there. I don't know where it is compared to where we'll be. Phantom Otaku asked, "Did you get Nintendo Museum tickets?" We did. We did it.
I'm very excited.
I'm excited for that too. Honestly, like I had the original Nintendo. I've been a Nintendo fan since I can remember. Duck Hunt was my jam back then. Even my dad liked to play that because
That makes sense.
he was big into hunting. So teaching him how to play Duck Hunt was hilarious. He's like, "How does it know when I'm pointing the gun at the
I mean,
screen?"
I still don't know. Good question.
I still think it had something to do with all the static that came off of old tube TVs. Static and magnets.
Maybe we'll learn at the museum.
Maybe.
I got through all the bags I wanted to.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm really psyched to go.
Lindsay Brown. Oh, I read that one already, but thank you again for the Japan spending money. It will go to a good cause, aka Sailor
Sake?
Moon stuff
Oh.
or
I did
Japanese Star Wars stuff or sake.
I did look for a Sailor Moon museum, and there was one in 2022. It was like a temporary thing, and now it is traveling around, but nowhere we're gonna be.
There's also like not a Broadway show, but there's like a musical show performance of Sailor Moon going around, and it is. First of all, it's gonna be here while we're in Japan, but not here. It's not even coming to
Oh.
Atlanta. So I was like, ugh, lame. Oh, what's up, HoloNet Marauders?
Hey,
The sail barge is a super fun build, especially the kitchen part. Hope y'all are enjoying it. Is this the kitchen?
I don't know. I have no idea what goes where yet.
Do you think that COO cook droid is in the kitchen? He's not in the set.
We might build him.
That would be wild.
I don't think he's in this, but we could make one. We could probably
Old,
take like battle droid parts
old
and
knife
make
hands.
one. Yeah.
Scotty Heron has the next one. Been replaying the Jedi games,
Mm.
so they're fresh on my mind. Cal and Survivor upgrades from a poncho as default to a vest. What do you think his wardrobe upgrade in the next game will be?
I mean, he's getting fewer and fewer clothes, it would appear.
Which
Poncho down to vest, down to,
we don't mind.
I mean, like just tank top is the default, maybe.
Little nipple tassels.
What are what are those just like leather straps that do nothing, but they're just for aesthetics?
Like
It'll be
yeah,
that.
like a little harness.
I mean, that feels very like
Well,
it feels like a Night Brother courting a Night Sister.
it's not for
It's like,
nothing.
I'm
Like
just gonna wear a bunch of leather.
if you don't, if
and
you have a
attract Marin.
harness, you can put like weapons and you can hang stuff.
True, just like lots of buckles and
Yeah. Oh
clips.
well. I mean, leather daddy cowl is not a bad look.
Someone on Reddit today posted like make the comments section look like BD1's search history. And there were a lot of funny ones like how do I fix a broken leg or why is my human so frail? But also one that was like can a Night Sister and a human reproduce?
I mean, don't ask questions you don't want answers to. But I think that's a yes.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah. Agreed.
I won't go any further into that. I was about to, and I was like, no.
They definitely can.
But yeah,
It's the-
so our
Jedi
answer
Jedi 3 is just going to be a dating sim.
our answer is leather straps and buckles and harnesses.
Apparently.
Get on it, team.
Listen up, Respawn. I want to find that post.
HoloNet asked if we've talked about Legacy of Vader and the Bad Batch book news. We haven't on the stream so far. We probably will save that for the podcast.
I mean, Legacy of Vader was great. We did mention that it was off to a good start.
Yeah.
You love
I don't want to
Bubblehead
say.
Vinay.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know if spoilers are a thing, but I've already got a meme ready to go. I might just put it out after this because it's been out all day. And I feel like people that are worried about spoilers might not mind this one. 'Cause it's not a huge
It's not
It's in the
huge,
first
like-
issue. But yeah. Bomar Monk Vinay was like blew my mind. I was like, what? He's still around. Good for him. Oh, Regular sent a super chat in and suggested Dial of Destiny for a rewatch watch along.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
We were going to do the indie movies at some point, but yeah, rewatching Destiny would be fun. All right, I found that BD1 search history thread. The top one is Eve and Wally still together?
Aww.
Super cute. The way it's misspelled, like, is Eve and Wally still together? That's so funny. Why does
Still
my
to
human
this-
have so many ponchos? How to tell if a human is a hoarder? Is it illegal to take things from chests that aren't yours? Am I a pirate?
Aw. That was also the Skeleton Crew kids' search history.
Yeah.
Am I a pirate?
Am I a pirate?
Still to this day, anytime I see a Wally at a convention, I'll tear up a little bit. They're just so cute.
How to tell my human what colors I like?
What colors I like?
Yeah, because you can
Aw.
change BD's colors without his consent.
Oh. Oh gosh, Eloasti asked for my Babu Frick impression. I haven't done it in so long. I don't even remember all of his lines.
Just do the hey hey.
I'll save it to the end because we need to start wrapping up here soon.
Do ginger Jedis have souls?
Aw, I hope they do.
Will a ginger Jedi become a Force ghost? You got to tell Cameron Monaghan in person how glad you were to have a ginger in Star Wars.
I did, and I also got to just see him in all of his glory in person, and his skin was just like porcelain. He could have been a Twilight vampire. I was like
That's why we've only ever seen him at night.
a little bit shocked just seeing him up close. He really be looking like that.
He's so nice.
Oh yeah, he stayed way later at the event that we were at than he, I guess, had meant to, but he talked to like everybody. Okay. Uh Babu Frick impression. Should I just do it now?
Just say hey hey. You a little warm up.
Hey hey.
That
So
sounds like
long.
shy Babu. Hey hey.
Droid go blah 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 blah. Droid is ready.
Hey hey.
All right. Ice, thank you for the super chat. Scotty Heron in Jedi 3, Cal starts taking down purge troopers in a duster coat. That silhouette would go so hard. Take a page from Indy 5's book. I wouldn't mind a duster.
That was one of the best lines in Wild Card. You're supposed to be kind of inconspicuous, and Kay suggests to Indy 5 that he take off the duster, and he just goes, no.
No, it's
Which
working well.
they
for me.
absolutely wrote like after everyone was like, that droid's so sexy.
Getting to ask them in person about the sexy droid stuff was hilarious because they would blush and kind of be like, it's kind of weird. I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
That's all the women there were like, we knew, and all the men were like, we're completely surprised. And then Matt Martin, after we had finished recording, he was like, I'm so glad you asked that. Because he's like, we can't bring it up,
Mm-hmm.
but you can.
Yeah. Cece Pruitt says, I like turtles. Thank you. What is the funniest, most unexpected consequence of a bad roll you've experienced? Well, we've both been talking a lot about wild magic.
Yeah, I love wild magic. So I personally, Alex Damon loves wild magic, but so does my character in the current campaign that I'm playing. And the story I had from last night is a good consequence. So what's the worst thing that's happened? Oh, I rolled wild magic and my right leg disappeared for like 3 hours. And I thought it was going to be permanent, and my character's an artificer, so I like immediately was going, and I was excited because there was no pain. My leg just disappeared and I fell over. And in my head I was like, I'm going to build myself a new leg and it's going to do all kinds of things. So I started to build this leg and I had it on, and about 3 hours later it just like shot off of my body because my leg grew back. But that wasn't that bad. I'm trying to think if I've like killed anyone with wild magic.
I mean, you turned into gas twice.
Yeah, but those were both good things.
That's true. I don't really remember what I did with my wild magic on the one time that I joined y'all's game,
I don't remember either.
because I was just kind of like randomly using it and rolling a d100 to see what happened.
So last night we were playing, and we have like this deck of cards that you can draw, and you roll, or oh no, with the deck you just draw, and according to what they're like tarot cards.
You roll like a D100
It
and
depends on
it's
what you draw.
oh okay.
So you draw this tarot card, and the one that I drew, I had to roll a d12, and I rolled a 10, and the GM just said nothing happens. Well, 10 hours later, a pit 100 feet deep just opened beneath me. And so I was going to fall and maybe die for my second time. But I used my Wand of Wonder, and I was like, I have nothing else. So I'm just going to use this. And I rolled, and it turned me into gas, which is perfect. And
So you were no longer falling
my
in a
GM had to
bottomless
like
pit.
show me the book. He was like, I want you to see, like, this is what you rolled. And I didn't just like make up something to save you. You rolled this. This is absurd. 1 in 100 chance that I would turn into gas.
I was hoping it was like a little tiny parachute.
I knew that it worked because he didn't laugh hysterically. Usually, when I do wild magic, he looks up what is about to happen, and it's supposed to happen to people I'm attacking. And almost every time, it's something that affects me and not them.
Mm.
So, like, Ashton laughed, and I was like, or Ashton didn't laugh, and I was like, this is good.
Yeah, I don't have much to add just because I haven't been playing D&D as much, but hopefully when we start our campaign at some point this year, I'll have more to talk about for that.
I guess the biggest consequence is that I once turned myself to stone, allowing an enemy to just stand there and pummel me to death. And that's how I died.
And that's how you died.
So, yeah, those are the biggest consequences of a bad roll.
Austin says, I just finished reading the Shadow of Empire novel. Sadly, no Star Wars Explained review. What are your thoughts on the book?
I haven't read it since it came out. I think I was in third grade. I loved it. I mean,
I could just imagine fourth grade Alex reading a book like that, just really getting into
was
it.
96, I think. Oh yeah. I mean, it had a video game, a comic, a book, the action figures. I was all about Shadows of the Empire when it was coming out. I
was really deep into Animorphs, probably.
I loved Animorphs.
Those are the only books I was reading at that time.
Loved Animorphs. But yeah, I think it was Shadows of the Empire or Truce at Bakura. It was one of those that was like, that was the first book I read that was like, this is multiple hundreds of pages. I was like, this is a big book, and I'm going to read it.
And you did.
Mm-hmm.
I do that now.
I
with
know.
the ACOTAR books.
Those are huge.
Big books.
Those are big books.
I'm going to do it.
I mean, I
did, really.
Now I'm like 300 pages. I'm like, that's a normal sized book. If it gets to be 500 or more, I'm like, that's a big book. I know that when I reread Shadows of the Empire, the Shizor Leia stuff does not age well at all.
Yeah. I need to have you play that game with me because I had Shadows of the Empire on N64 growing up, but I never really got past like the Battle of Hoth stuff because I just wasn't good at games, and I would just play that and I'd be like, that was fun, and I didn't play the rest of the game ever.
Well, that stuff is in the book and a little in the comic, I think, but the game is it's all focused on Dash.
Yeah.
The book jumps around a little more.
But I'm just saying, like, I think it would be rewarding to my inner child to play further in that game.
Man, if they put it out on the Nintendo Switch Online, like, please, come on.
Yeah, maybe they
put
will.
That out. Put Rogue Squadron out. Come on. What are we doing?
CC Pruitt, thank you for another super chat. I like turtles. Who doesn't want a bondage cowl? It's true. We figured it out.
Maybe Grease.
Yeah. He'd probably get a kick out of it.
Depends on like how much it took over the rest of the ship.
He would sell signed, like autographed pictures of Cal
Yeah, I
at the
mean,
bar.
yeah, doing that to pay off his gambling debt.
Hmm.
Yeah, sure. He's in charge of Cal's OnlyFans. When
Yeah.
you're messaging Cal, you're actually talking to Grease.
He's like, I got this. I got extra hands. I can type really fast.
He's got two phones going at the same time.
All right, we are going to start wrapping up here, but Ice has a couple of super chats. I'm going to be taking an extended break from Star Wars probably for the rest of the year, starting next month. Not sure how active I'll be, but in between, just want to say thank you guys for providing a positive space to discuss the franchise and for the fun times that I've had as part of your community. You guys have been the best. I'm going to miss tuning into these streams and after shows. I hope I'll be back at some point, but not sure when. So I just wanted to say thanks for now. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week.
Thanks, Ice.
Yeah. I think I mean, we're sad to see you go, but I feel like that's a very healthy mindset of like wanting to take a break.
That's what I was going to say.
I'm
Just,
assuming it's because Andor is coming back on, and we know how Ice feels about Andor, and that is allowed, that is valid. So
absolutely.
I think it takes a lot more self-awareness to not engage with something that you don't think you're going to enjoy. So I think that is totally fair.
Agreed.
There's a lot of YouTubers out there that don't know how to do that. So
to just be like, hey, I'm not liking this anymore.
Oh, I don't like this. Maybe I just don't talk about it. Yeah. But no worries, Ice. We'll be here whenever you decide to come back. And Scotty Heron has another one here. Ginger Daddy Cal wearing nothing but leather straps and a duster over them. Thoughts? At Samuel Rogers and Ice, I blame you both for this, chat. I think we figured it out.
I don't know if anyone from Respawn is going to Celebration, but if I see any of the design team, I'll go tell them our thoughts. Right.
We can at least message Jordan and be like, hey, we have an idea.
Look, we have ideas.
Make it DLC or something. I don't know, like they could charge a pretty penny for something like that.
Worst case scenario,
people would pay for it.
Is there can be mods.
Yeah. There might already be
someone's gonna make
like
the Star Wars Explained mod, and it's this.
It's that. I wouldn't hate it if that's what,
I would be pretty honored actually
if that's what they wanted to call it. Jane says that sounds like a pretty quick way to no longer be on the EA press list. You know what? It might be worth it. I don't know.
Don't let your dreams be dreams. Shoot your shot.
I'm kidding. Don't kick us off the list. But I'm sure like a lot of the EA people have thought about the same thing. Everyone wants to see Cal.
I would love to see the rejected Cal. In what way?
What?
Never mind. I would love to see the rejected designs.
Ooh.
That people were like, is this too much?
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Not, I mean, aside from Leather Daddy Cal, like, I think just rejected designs for video games would be like a fun little behind the scenes thing.
I've got the Art of Survivor book around here somewhere.
Well, I think we're going to wrap up because it's almost 8. We got to go cook dinner. But here's what we have so far with the
It's brown now. It's getting more brown.
It's getting browner and browner as we go. Which is exciting. One day it'll look like the sail barge. And then we'll have
Give it some time.
Then we'll have to figure out where to put it.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll replace that because Alex hit his head on the Star Destroyer earlier today.
I hit my head on that thing all the time.
Because it sticks out a lot.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind moving the Star Destroyer.
I was like, let me throw it off the roof. Just let me do it. One and done.
I did think about like a Patreon reward. You mentioned a Patreon reward just being you destroying it, but I was like, what if we made you run an obstacle course or something with it?
Trying to keep it safe. That could be fun. I wouldn't mind doing
Or I could hold it playing dodgeball or
that. Oh, Scotty Heron sent one more in. Said last one, petition for an official Star Wars Explained turtle emoji.
something.
I wouldn't mind that.
Trying to think of like a Star Warsy turtle.
The Noti.
Yeah.
We honestly, turtles come up almost once a day in like spring, summer because we see them on our walks with Hilo every day. So we're thinking about turtles.
We think about CC Pruitt a lot.
all the time.
Because we're always just like, oh,
every time we
turtles.
see a turtle. Oh. Oh yeah, the shell people from Resistance.
Oh yeah.
What were they called?
I don't remember.
All right, Poopaw needs food.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Thank you guys for tuning in for the Lego stream. We have no idea how long this is going to take to build on stream. It might take a while, but oh, update from last week.
Oh yeah.
Real quick before we
yeah.
go. I did in fact pre-order the Grogu Lego set and it is in our house.
It's been downstairs for like a month at least.
I totally forgot it was down there. And I even posted about it when it came. But last week I was like, oh no, did I pre-order it? I gotta go get it.
I must have not pre-ordered it.
So.
And then we went downstairs and started cooking and I immediately saw it in the dining room. Like, come on.
We don't really use our dining room to eat in, so sometimes things end up in there.
It's just where Molly puts the Lego set she's pre-ordered and forgotten about.
In there. So we've got it. We might take a break in the sail barge at some point so that I can build the Grogu set. Because I want to do that. But that's it. Okay, we're going to go eat dinner. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you to all of our channel members and anyone who sent in super chats. You guys are the best. And we'll see you next week. Bye.